Hi, this is Jonathan. In today's episode, we're going to feature this amp. It's been around for a while. This is the Mesa Boogie TransAtlantic 30 head with the cap clone. Now, if you listen closely, you'll hear a whirling sound. That is the Transatlantic 30's fan, which cools down the amplifier. So I'm going to shut it down, although I'll miss the neon lights, the blue neon lights. Yeah, way better. So if you're new to this channel, you might just want to subscribe to this channel and press that bell for notification and be part of the Patreons that support this channel. I would appreciate it. So this is the Mesa Boogie TransAtlantic 30. Now they have a couple of variations. They have one with the combo and then one with the head where you can pair it with a cap, or a rack mounted version where you can just rack mount this whole thing. I think I can still do it. I have to buy the sides, so I can rack mount it here, which I'm not thinking of doing. Now this amp is given to me by my good friend A Wong. So he bought this a while ago, I think maybe about 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, and he wanted a amp that he can carry along, thinking that this is kind of light, but this is not light. This weighs a bit, and it's 30 watts, right? TA-30, and it has a very unique character to it, because this is not the rest of the Mesa Boogie. This is like transatlantic, meaning it can actually produce or, well, give you the option of having the American amp sound as well as the British amp sound. And I think it succeeds in many ways. Tube driven, right? So this TA-30 is driven by, it's driven by 4 EL84 Mesa for its power amps. And then for preamp tubes, he has 6 Mesa Boogie tubes. These are the 12AX7. And they're inside, and it's really nice to see because of the neon light, and you actually can see the tubes, which is, I never get tired of that. Yeah, it's a sight to behold. Now this amp has to be paired with a cabinet or a cap simulator, in which case I'm using the cap clone. Now I noticed this cap clone, this Mesa Boogie cap clone, and just by incident, this is a Mesa Boogie product too. I noticed this about 1.5 years ago in Davis, and I've asked Miss Jeanette to pass it to me to try, and I didn't do anything about it because I didn't have an amp head to play around with it, so I gave it back to her. And this time around, while the unit was still in the shop, so I managed to get it over, and I bought it, and it pairs really nicely with the TA-30. Now I'm going to talk a little bit of the cap clone later. Now with the TA-30, you have 2 channels. You have basically the clean, and then you have the dirty channel. And within the clean channel, there is a switch right up here where you can kind of like switch between the normal mode, the normal clean mode, and the BST. I think that is the boost, right? So or the top boost, and you can actually bring up the boost by bringing up the gain. Now the master here has a dual function because there's a push-pull for the master switch, in which case you can kind of like, if it's not pull, it is like how an old amp would be like without a master volume. And if you turn it clockwise, you have a high cut. But once you pull it, it becomes a normal master volume. So in which case you can kind of like compensate your sound with the A channel as opposed to the B, so you can kind of like, even out the sound or even out the volume. And then when you switch on down, you have, like I said, the top boost, and in which case there's more gain to it, and there's more character to it. There's a little bit more body. And then on the other side, as you switch channel, you have 3 stages. You have one which is the tweet, which would kind of mimic the old tweet amps, overdriven tweet amps. And then you have high one, which is high gain 1, and then high gain 2. In which case it gives you a little bit more gain, and there's a change in color of the sound. There is some things going on, so you can tell when you're playing it. Now this amp has 3 wattages selection. You have the 15, 30, and 40. Now each wattage gives you different characteristic. You can actually feel it, and I prefer the 40. I just want more power. And with all this selection and options that you have, being the fact that this is an all-tube amp, you begin to understand what they mean by sag and all these little things, like how the amp responds. I'm very surprised because I normally use a compressor with any amps, even with this orange amp right here, which is a totally FET amp as opposed to an all-tube amp. In this amp, I don't have to use any compressors at all. Now, all the recording that you heard was done without any compressors employed. And I just love how this amp responds. Really nice, really tubey. Right. So, other than that, you only have 2 knobs for equalization, the top and the highs and the low. There's no mid control. And I'm totally cool about that because this amp has a lot of mid response in many ways. So you also have the reverb, which is a long reverb for both channels, and you can kind of like select whether you want to bypass the reverb altogether on the channel or not. You have also a power switch as well as a standby switch. And on the back panel, you have a speaker out where you can select within 4 or 8 ohms, and then you have a return, effects center return, and also a foot switch for your reverb. Now here you have a foot switch here, jack for you to kind of switch between channel A to channel B. So it's self-contained in many ways. I'm thinking of getting a foot switch for this so I can switch channel if I want to, but then again, we'll see how. This is a great amp. I really like how this amp head sound. I just hope I was able to try the TA-30 combo. I'm sure it would sound really nice. But as it is, it fits nicely to this desk that I have been using for many years. And I'm running this in conjunction with the cap clone. Now the cap clone has a built-in internal load, and you can kind of like hook that up to your door if you want to, where you can use your cap sim or your IRs if you choose to. Now there is an XLR out of the cap clone, in which case you can hook it up to your door too, and you can use the speaker simulation from the cap clone, in which case they are given 3 options: the closed back, open back, and vintage. They sound pretty cool, but I think you need to equalize them after post. There is a lot of bad rap about the cap clone. A lot of metal guys and a lot of people are like complaining about this is overpriced and everything. Well, in many cases they are not wrong, but I think it works as it is. You can actually record with it, which I just did. But what I did was I ran this through with the out, where I'm using an IR of my choice, so I can use a speaker simulation of my choice and not use the cap clone itself. I'm going to try using that, for the XLR with the simulation, which is built into the cap clone. And the cap clone also gives you a option of lifting your ground if you have noise, and then also a phase switch where you can switch between 180 and the phase in, where sometimes when you're using a microphone in conjunction with the cap clone, you might have an out of phase problem. You also have various input selections where you can go from line, mic, and whatever, and which when you're using the XLR out, only when you're using the XLR out. So as it is a great unit by itself, and I think it's the seats in this case. It's a good pairing. Now I have a Mesa Boogie, a V-twin, and I can't wait to try that together with this on a clean channel. I think it would sound really nice. I want to thank my longtime friend Iwan for being so kind as to pass me this amp. It's a beautiful gift from him. And yeah, I just thought I have like 2 options here. With the orange has its own sound. It has its own character to it. This has its own character. So now I have these 2 options, and I have the other options of miking this out if I want to. But this, I need a cap to mic out, which I don't have any space left. So I'm gonna use this with the cap clone, and I think it will suffice. Now the unit is available either used or brand new in the Reverb or eBay. I'm sure some of them are available in some shops in Japan. This is also available in this place called Emerald City Guitars, based in Seattle. So if you are in North America, you may just want to contact them. Now I'm sorry that I didn't did a more concise demo of this amp. There are many demos and many YouTube videos about this amp, so do a search and you'll find out more, as well as for the cap clone. I think this is a nice option for you if you're interested in certain heads. And the cap clone, you know, there are many options other than the Mesa Boogie cap clones. There are other brands. There are you know, ones from Boss and the Torpedo, and many other brands. Yeah, I think Sir has one, and I don't know. You gotta just Google it, you know. Right. So you like this video? Give me a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. Press that bell for notification, and be part of patrons to support this channel. I would appreciate it. I thank all my patrons for their wonderful love and friendship and support. Thank you guys. So in the meantime, you guys please stay safe and take care of yourself. Ciao.